Erev Tov and Chag Sameach, a Freilich in Chanukah. We find ourselves we're learning our Shia tonight, the fifth night of Chanukah. As we see in back in the we see the five lights lit together with the sixth light, which is the Shamash, a little higher. And we're told that the fifth night has a very important message that there's a major story that we won't go into tonight, the fifth night of Hanukkah, but the Rebbe goes and mentions it in the name of the Frierdiker Rebbe, the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchok Schneerson, that it's a known concept that when the fifth night of Hanukkah comes every year, Rabbi Seinu Nisienu, our rabbis and leaders of Chabad Lubavitch and Hasidism in general, make a very big, an extra celebration and more happiness and joy. Why the fifth night of Hanukkah? What happened the fifth night of Hanukkah? So it's explained that the fifth night of Hanukkah, according to the calendar that we go by today from Hillel HaZaken, the fifth night of Hanukkah can never fall on a Shabbos. In other words, Friday afternoon, the lighting of the fifth night of the five candles can never occur in the calendar that we follow today. Maybe when the month. Maybe when the month is going to be sanctified by witnesses, things might change. But for the meantime, it can never fall on a Shabbos. The fact that something shows or expresses a disconnection from Shabbos, and Shabbos represents the concept of the Aliyat HaOlamot, the elevation of the worlds, and the addition in kedusha, in holiness, in the mundane material world. When something it shows that it is disconnected from Shabbos, being the fifth night can never fall on Shabbos, this shows a greater amount of darkness that exists in the world at that time. And since there is a greater amount of darkness that exists on the fifth night because it can never fall on Shabbat, on Shabbos, there is a need, and this was instilled and instructed by Rabbi Seinu Nisienu, our rabbis, and all the Hasidic leaders, that we should make a greater amount of happiness and joy, excel in our happiness and joy and celebration on the fifth night of Hanukkah. So we're excelling in our happiness and joy, and obviously there is no greater way to excel in happiness and joy than the study of Torah, like it states in Tehillim, Pikudei Hashem Yisharim, the commandments, or the commands of Hashem, which is the Torah, are just, are straight. And David HaMelech ends the verse and says, Pikudei Hashem Yesharim Mesamchei Lev, that they bring happiness to the heart. And this is the way to bring happiness to the heart, by sitting and studying Torah, and how much more so in our day and age, in this period of time that we find ourselves in the midst of the battle, the midst of the relinquishing ourselves from all those Sonei Yisrael, those that hate the Jewish nation, Rahman al-Islam. And this is a way to go and to bring the direct way, the Derech HaYeshara, the straight way and the direct way to bring Mashiach, is studying not just any parts of the Torah, but studying the parts of the Torah that are related to Mashiach and the Geula, and how much more so when we're talking about the Sichos and the Likutei Sichos of the Rebbe Shlitah Melech HaMashiach. The Rebbe mentions it in the Dvar Malchus itself. This is the way that we speed up the revelation of Mashiach, and it should be Teichef Umiyad Mamish. We're commencing tonight a new Sicha, In the hard copy, this is on page 318. In the PDF file, it's on page 1 of the PDF file that was sent out in the with the link. It was sent out in the email. So we're going to begin now. It's Aleph, and we'll try to do Aleph and Base, and this will be for the learning of in honor of the holiday of Hanukkah. Misichas Leilis Daled Hey Vov Vishabes Kodesh Parshas Truma Tafshin Nun Beis. This is a collection of the sichos, of the talks that the Rebbe gave Wednesday night, or the Leil Daled. It was Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Vov, and Friday night, and Shabbos during the Farbrengen of the Parsha of Truma. That was the time in the Torah that the portion of Truma was read in the book of Shmos, Exodus. Hatafshin Nun Beis. This was the year 5752, or in the secular date, the Gregorian calendar, 1992. Aleph. Poischim Livrocha, we open with blessings. When we begin speaking, the Rebbe teaches us, the Torah teaches us that we open with blessings. And this is especially when we are standing at the beginning and the entrance of the month of Adar, when there is the commandment and also the law in the Jewish code of law, that from the time that we usher in the month of Adar, we increase in our joy. And in this month, Bori Mazle, the Mazel, the fortune, or the revelation of Hashem's light for the Jewish nation is Bori, is strong. It is on a greater revealed basis. The Israel of the Jewish nation, therefore, it is clear that the Jewish nation, the children of Israel, are blessed, especially with blessings. And furthermore, we find in the Talmud, this is in the Talmud in Tractate Tainis, just as when we usher in the month of Av, we decrease in our joy, so also from the time that we usher in the month of Adar, we increase in our joy. Therefore, a Jewish individual that has a court issue, that has a judgment, with a non-Jew, or there are those that say that it could be with the Goy Asher Bekir B'cha, that we have perhaps even with a Jew that has the animal soul that is behaving like a non-Jew. Lishtamet minei de'ov, a person should try to avoid having the court case judged in the month of Av. The raya mazle, for the mazel, the fortune, or the revelation of the Jewish nation's spiritual state is not that revealed, and therefore it's not good. And he should and he should make an effort with a soul effort, the Adar the Barin Mazle, to have this whatever court judgment is meant to be in the month of Adar. For then the Mazel is Bori, is strong, it's healthy. And the Rebbe says, at first glance, what is this comparison that the Talmud makes Kishem, just as shemish of mematin chulu, that from the time that we usher in the month of Av, we decrease. Kach mishenichnas Adar marbin chulu. So when also when we usher in the month of Adar, we increase in our joy. Seemingly, this actually indicates a decrease in the amount of joy in the month of Adar. ויש לומר דאדרבה, לשון חז"ל כשם משנכנס אב ממעטים בשמחה, כך משנכנס אדר מרבים בשמחה. The Rebbe says just on the contrary. The coin of phrasing, the way that our rabbis of blessed memory phrase this concept is just as from when the time that we usher in Av, we decrease in our joy. So when from the time that we usher in Adar, we increase in our joy. This comes to teach us that the decrease of joy in the month of Av this also comes under the category of the increasing in our joy in the month of Adar. Like it states, Kishem kach, just as, so also. Sheken kavonas v'tachlis miot simcha, for so the intention of the decreasing in joy b'chodesh Av in the month of Av, hirak b'chdei lahofchoi. This is only for the purpose of taking this period of time that we decrease in joy and transforming it lahofchoi michashucha lenahara, from darkness, to turning the darkness into light, umimeriru lemisko, and transforming the bitterness into sweetness. And how do we activate this transformation? This is done through increasing in our simcha, increasing in our joy. Ubari mazle b'chodesh Adar, and we're told that the mazel, the fortune, the spiritual revelation of the Jewish nation is healthy, is strongest in the month of Adar. Excuse me. For this period of time that we're talking about, the month of Adar has the power to go and to transform even the period of time, which is the saddest time in the Jewish calendar, the time that we decrease in our joy, the time of the beginning of the month of Av, the Reya Mazle, and the Mazel, the fortune of the Jewish nation, is on a decreased or is on a hidden, concealed, or not good basis in Chodesh Av, in the month of Av. And therefore, from this we understand that when Adar comes, specifically from what we mentioned, that we transform the darkness of Av into light and the bitterness of Av into sweetness, this comes and stresses the greatness and the power and the increase of joy, of simcha, in the month of Adar. And this is in addition to the joy itself on a good and revealed basis. This includes also the joy that we transform those things that are not rotzui, that are not desirable. We are turning them into those things that are undesirable, that cause the decrease in joy. We transform them in a manner that is brought about in the and this is the phrase, and this is the phrase that is used in the Torah, the asalim mat'amim, that he should make me delicacies, loshan rabim, not only one delicacy, but delicacies in plural. This is what Yitzchak asked Esav to go and to hunt for him an animal, to shecht for him an animal, and to make delicacies for him to eat. What are these delicacies in spirituality? They are also from, like the Alter Rebbe writes in Tanya, they are from those foods that are sweet, and they are they are palatable to the palate in a immediate manner, like sweet things we can eat immediately. Marbim besimcha ba'adar mitzat atzmei, and this is the increase in joy of simcha in the month of Adar, because of the month of Adar, because this is the month that everything was transformed. We celebrate the holiday of Purim, and therefore we increase in our joy. Ve'hein midvarim charifim, and also from those things that are sharp, or chamutzim, or that are sour. Rak shehem metubolim umesukonim, but they are spiced, and they are rectified heitev, very well, ad shenasu ma'adonim lohoshiva nefesh, to the extent that they are made into these foods that are sharp, these foods that are sour, they become foods that are meishiv dem nefesh, that restore the soul. In other words, people have the ability to have pleasure and enjoyment from these foods. And this represents the transforming of the matters, the concepts of Av, the saddest time of the year in the Jewish calendar. This is bringing even that period of time into its transformation from the lowest decrease in joy, bringing it to the transformation of the darkness becoming light, and the bitter being transformed into sweet. And according to this, we also be able to sweeten the explanation that the instruction to go into marbe b'simcha, to increase in our joy, is brought in what tractate in the Talmud? The tractate of Tainis, which is translated into English, the tractate of fasts, the tractate of fasting. And it's specifically in the tractate of fasting, in a portion of the Talmud that is speaking about the descent and the decrease in joy in the month of Av. And this, like we said just now, includes the decrease in the joy in the beginning of the month of Av. The Rebbe says, and through this, there's even an even greater addition, in regard to the opening with a blessing, like we opened at the beginning of the Farbrengen. The Rebbe says, bracha b'chol ha'inyanim, a blessing in all matters, in all issues. Gam ba'afichas kol ha'inyanim shel hepech libracha v'simcha. This also including the transforming of all concepts and all matters that are the opposite of blessing and joy, to blessing and joy as well. The Rebbe ends off this ois and says, Ad la brocha ikris, to the extent that we arrive to the most major blessing, be'inyan shazman grama, a blessing that has to do with the period of time that we find ourselves in, birkas hagiula mitzvah shlema, the blessing of the true and the complete redemption, al yedei Moshiach tzidkenu, through our righteous Moshiach, And that is the time that we will have the completion of the concept of joy, the completion of happiness. Happiness in its most complete manner. Then we will fill our mouths with happiness, with joy, with laughter. And the most complete manner of the mazel, the fortune, the revelation of the spiritual facets of the children of Israel will be at its healthiest and strongest point. And the completion of the transformation of darkness into light and bitterness into sweetness. And this is the blessing that we're all looking forward to, and the Eibishter should help that it should be specifically now in the midst of our learning, and this should be in the merit, all our learning should be in the merit, for the merit of the soldiers, that Hashem should watch over our soldiers, and there should not be any more casualties, chas v'sholem, and that we should have a complete victory, a complete triumph, and all the injured should be healed immediately, and all those that are still being held as hostages, kidnapped by the evil and the wicked Hamas, Yemach Shemam v'zichram, should be returned healthy and in a safe manner, and all this with the revelation of the Rebbe Shlitah, Melech HaMashiach, on a good and revealed basis, mitoch simcha v'tuv levav, with happiness and joy of the heart that we were just learning inside about, on a b'teiv hanir v'nigle, on a good and revealed basis, b'menuchas hanefesh u'menuchas haguf, in manner of peace and tranquility. And the main thing is that it should be teichef umiyad, mamish, mamish, mamish. It should be immediately, in actuality now. Yechi Adonenu Moreinu v'Rabbeinu Amelech HaMoshiach le'olam voed. Yechi Adonenu Moreinu v'Rabbeinu Amelech HaMoshiach le'olam voed. Yechi Adonenu Moreinu v'Rabbeinu Amelech HaMoshiach chai v'kayom le'olam voed. Chanukah Sameach.